Hey there, my name is Zoe, and in this Unity Quickie, we're going to talk about writing to text files within Unity. It's actually pretty simple, but I've noticed that a lot of people tend to rely on their player preferences to do most of their save data, and that's not a great approach. So we're going to learn something that's a little bit more versatile, and then you can use it in your own projects. So basically in the demo project that we have here, we have a UI canvas. That canvas has a text input here. It has two buttons. One of them is called append and one of them is called overwrite. And basically within append, we're calling a method within the file that we're writing called write text. That's our C# class. We have append text that the append button is calling. Then we have overwrite text that the overwrite button is calling. And that's all we need. So what we're going to do here is within our write text class, we're grabbing a reference to the TMP input field. This will also work for the normal UI input field. I just tend to prefer using TextMesh Pro. And then we have a string called append file and a string called overwrite file. The first thing that you're going to need in order to write text to Unity is a reference to or a path to the file that you want to do. So we can grab that within our project by going append file equals application.dataPath, and then you can add in the additional path information that you would need. So in the case of here, the files are called append and overwrite.txt. So we would do application data path plus /append.txt or /overwrite.txt. Unlike resources.load, the file path for this, or the data type for this does matter, file type. So if we go into the method here for append text, I'm going to show you how we're doing a null check. This is if this first condition here, as long as you know that the files are going to be there, you don't need to do that. But we run file.exists append file, and that's going to check for the file path for our append file. It's going to see whether or not it's there, and if it's not there, then we can do the same thing we were going to do before, but we're going to do it by actually creating the file. This file class that we're going to be referencing a couple different times, you import that with using system.io. So if you're not sure where to get that, system.io is going to grab you most of the classes that you're going to need to handle input-output. That's not a Unity thing, that's a C# thing, but if you learn C# just in the context of Unity, you might not be familiar with it. So then we can do file.writeAllText. We tell it the path for our append file, and then we tell it the text that we want to put into it. So in this case, we have txt input.text. That's the reference to the input field. Now, that's not a great way to do it because then we're not being kosher with the file stream. So a much better way to do it is in our else condition. If we already know that the file is there, then what we're going to do is say using var writer equals a new stream writer. And then we pass it the path for the append file, and we tell it that the append mode is true. So the first argument for stream writer's constructor is the path, and then we tell it whether or not we're in append mode. And if you can guess where I'm going with the next one, all we're changing for the other one is just setting append mode to false. And then, because we have this reference to writer that we've made, we do writer.writeLine, and then we just pass it the text input text. For overwrite file, we're doing the same thing. We do using writer equals new stream writer, overwrite file. We set append to false because in this case, we want to overwrite all of the text. And then we do writer.writeLine, and then text input text. That's it. It's super simple. Using a stream writer is going to help you just kind of have cleaner threads, I believe. Don't worry too much about what's going on the back end, but just you want to make sure that you're not having multiple things trying to access a file at a time, because then they can start interrupting one another. But if we play this here, and I say like, this is a line of text. Yeah, that's not how you spell text. Pen, and then this is overwritten, and we overwrite that. We can do it a bunch of times, and we go in here. So for the overwrite file, we've still only ever got that one line there. For this one, we have a bunch of lines that we've added. And yeah, doing that, you can pass information to text files that you can do what you want with later. I hope that helped, and that's another tool for your kit, and have yourselves a wonderful rest of your day.